another bottle.
I want you to know that the Chris Burrous you all loved so much was exactly the Chris Burrous that I knew for the past 20 years. He was lightning in a bottle.
How you doing?
Let's see how the writing is next hour.
On air or off, out and about on the fire line or cutting in at the buffet line. He was really exactly that silly, whip smart, funny, the most thoughtful person I'd ever met.
Reporter and an anchor, Chris spent part of his career in several smaller markets, then a stint in New York. In 2011, he joined the KTLA morning show.
Maybe I need to be more energetic. Sir, did you happen to feel the earthquake this morning? Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
I think
There we go.
That's working a lot better.
Immediately, he broke through. And he connected with all of us, and he connected with the people who watched the shows.
And I think that was your dad's gift. He could take just this tiny, tiny little story and make it so interesting for all of us.
On December 27, the life of this one-of-a-kind talent was tragically cut short. He was 43 years old. Chris Burrous, husband, father, and son.
But in my heart, he's still there and alive, and I hope he is to all of you too.
I could have never fathomed the enormity of your affection for him. So thank you all for helping to keep Chris alive in your hearts and in your memories.
That was Chris Burrous. He was the KTLA guy on the morning of the weekends around here, KTLA 5 in Los Angeles. As you were in, well, hello, Glendale. I want to preference this video by saying I do all sorts of videos on here. Locations, film locations, day-to-day stuff, daily vlogs. This one's a little bit different. This one's a little bit darker. Just like any human, this guy had another side to him. He was also a husband, a father. He was well known around the LA area just because he was on the morning news. Chris Burrous. You usually would wake up with him on Saturday morning, tell you what's going on, getting your day plan, getting the weather going, and just things like that. Well, we are at the Days Inn in Glendale, right off the 134 freeway that goes into Pasadena, or onto the 5 freeway and into Griffith Park in LA area. On December 27, 2018, a 911 call was placed, and right on cue. Chris Burrous was found here. He was choking on his vomit. He took some drugs. We're going to talk about that. So with that being said, if this isn't your type of video, I totally understand. I got plenty of other videos on my channel, but this is one I've been thinking about for a while. Kyle wanted to look at it. It kind of hit home when I saw it, just because I grew up with this guy. I was watching him every morning from wherever I was on a Friday night, and he was on. He's human. That's all I can say. So we're going to go inside, kind of take a look at, or see the room where he was found. All right, let's go. So if that gives any indication, we are on 450 West Pioneer Drive. You can see this Days Inn from the freeway as you're passing, but so this place is a roughly $99 a night sort of hotel. You can see the drapes, how some are tied up, some are just wide open. Maybe not the nicest place for a family. You don't want to be staying here. Just a heads up, but got the cherry blossoms. Gonna walk across the street real quick and give a little quick breakdown. So I think the thing that bothers me the most about this is knowing who this guy was. I mean, I didn't know him personally, but knowing him from the news, seeing him in the morning, and the fact that he was a father, and he had a 9-year-old daughter at the time. So December 27th, he went to work like he normally did, told his wife he was going to work, said goodbye to his family, went to work, did whatever he had to do there. Then told his wife he had a meeting at noon. Just another meeting at the KTLA News, you know, at the studios. His wife was wondering where he was. Supposedly gave a call. They said that Chris wasn't feeling well, that Chris left, and that they don't know where he was, that he was going home, supposedly. which was not the case. So what Chris did was he drove over by himself, checked himself in directly behind me. That's the front office. Checked himself in by himself, and from the app Grindr, had been talking to another individual. So he had a time set up to meet this individual in a room here where they had a whole bunch of things planned. Let's just say he was interested in the other sex. I guess that's a nice way of putting it. So while he was here, and then the police came because they got a 911 call because he was unresponsive because he was choking on his own vomit. They discovered a lot of weird, terrible things. So we're actually going to go up to that room. We're not going to go inside, but we're going to go see where he spent his last hours. So we've arrived at the 6th floor. Gonna head out from here. Yeah, it's up 6. We're gonna go down, and it was a room actually. Give a little idea what the rooms look like. Sad to say, but this was the room 608. This is where Chris Rocky Burrous was found. So when the police went inside, there was a massage table set up, a strobe light, GHB, the drug, and also, it turned out, I mean, there was also sex toys and lubricants and things like that. You can look at the police report. I'll put it on there if you want to pause it, but we're gonna head down this way real quick. Creepy hallway. Okay, can't get out that way. So these rooms are really very basic, no frills at all. Like I said, it's $100 a night hotel. So I mean, he was here and his wife didn't know, and he was passed out because he was sticking methamphetamine into his anus and was wearing a leather mask. He threw up, I believe, with the leather mask, or I probably am wrong, and I hope I am, and a ball gag. And he threw up in his mouth and was choking on it, plus being high. There it is, 608. The last room Chris Burrous went into. So they took him to GLENDALE at Venice, where he was actually pronounced dead. I just wanted to show you guys, if you ever do stay here, you probably don't want to stay in room 608. Got all the clocks down here, and no pun intended, but no pun intended at all. And I mean, it's no joking matter, but CVS machine, and when I got down off the elevator, the song "And Then He Kissed Me" was on. Now a little respect. So, all right, let's head outside and finish this up. Okay, we're back outside on the main street. I gotta figure, if I found this hotel on Priceline, I'd be like, oh, that looks cool. Once you're in it, really kind of creepy. So back to Chris. So when they found him, I guess he was choking, and his partner heard a grunting sound, and he was choking on his own vomit. And I guess he was going into cardiac arrest, they were saying. He passed away at the hospital. There was nothing they could do. And sadly, you know, he had his wife and also his daughter. They no longer have a dad. Who knows if this would have been, you know, just another time, if he was okay and it would have gone on longer. But the day's in at GLENDALE. I generally don't like doing videos like this. I mean, this one is just bad for everyone involved. I mean, all the way around. If you ever watched Chris back in the morning, I'm sure some of you have, being in the LA area, every once in a while he would come on and he would just say stuff like, probably shouldn't be saying that. I mean, this is before political correctness and all that. where he'd just be like, whoa, where did that come from? And this was like on the morning news, and even like his other two anchors would look at him and be like, what in the world? And some of the pictures you see, he just looks like just had one hell of a night. Like I was saying, it is a shame that he passed away. It is sad when anybody loses a life. I really feel bad for his daughter and his wife. I had no idea that, you know, right after Christmas, they lost their father and their husband. So with that being said, rest in peace, Chris. We all got stuff going on in our lives, but there is help if you want it. Also, there is a cemetery not too far from here off the 5 freeway and the 60 freeway. I will not be going to that today. That is where Chris is buried. If you want to go and pay respects to Chris or just well wishes, you can find it on Find a Grave, Chris Rocky Burrous. So that's going to do it for today. Please consider subscribing. Leave a comment. I don't usually do videos like this, but I wanted to. So, that being said, see you next time. And now that I'm looking at it, I do really believe that these two, I'm not trying to intrude, but they are out in public, are actually in the room. If I counted correctly, and I believe I have, they're in 608.